How you doing today, folks? And welcome to Red Wolf EDC. Now today I'm looking weird, right? And I'm perfectly aware of it. I got a beard with more patches than a 90s punk jacket, and I'm wearing basically a Unabomber sweater because it's 47 degrees right now, and it comes to the cold, I'm kind of a bitch. I'm freezing right now. So forgive the aesthetics, I guess. I know it looks strange as fuck right now. But anyways, on my channel, as you guys know, I firmly say fuck YouTube, the algorithm, and their bullshit ass retention metrics. So if you're interested in this knife, the ergonomics are fantastic. The aesthetic, in my opinion, is absolutely beautiful. The action is The price to material ratio is, in my humble opinion, garbage. The edge geometry is good, not great, and the actual in-pocket clip retention is okay. Now, if you want to know why I feel that way, please stay tuned. And if not, as always, I wish you all the best of luck on your life and in your journey finding something that's absolutely beautiful and no hard feelings at all. But anyways, folks, let's get started. So normally I deal with the good and then the bad first, right? But this one to me is not necessarily good or bad based on who you are. It could be either. So I guess it's the middle ground. For me, it's kind of bad. For you, it might be good or just eh. And that is the action of the LTK Twosun Vandal. This is also designed by another person as well that I already forgot the name. I'll put it on the screen right here or somewhere. I don't know what the hell that was. So I firmly believe LTK just wanted a knife almost kind of like a big version of the Civivi button lock where you can just do this. Because this thing has a fuller on it, or the button lock dance for left EDC. Because this thing has a fuller on it, right? But it's almost not functional. Not entirely dysfunctional or unfunctional, however you say that, but it's not good. So if you want to roll this knife out, you got to basically like jam your thumb in here and you can, nope, that's a fail. Come on, there you go. You can get it out, right? It's not impossible. It's kind of, I don't know, strange, I guess. You know, it's not hard. It feels kind of janky, I guess. But for me, it actually really, really hurts this little pure area of my thumb right there. Because I have to jam it in and then just put a whole bunch of force in it. And then, wow, I'm doing bad. Come on. Oh my God. There we go. And I can get it out. And then dropping it back down. The button lock action isn't great, but it's not bad at all. It requires a little bit of help, but not a lot at all. It's very good. Now, as far as the middle finger flick, right? If you use a shitload of wrist, for the most part, you can do it. You also might fly this knife out of someone's hand like a fucking javelin too and stab somebody, but that's neither here nor there. But with a whole bunch of wrist, you can almost always reliably get it out. Without wrist, nope. Nope. Nope, fuck. Let's try this. Okay, without wrist, you can get it to the most of the way out. I've had some buddies of mine that do this shit all the time, and they cannot ever once fully deploy it out. Wow. There we go. I'm doing bad today. It must be the patchy beard and Unabomber jacket. The knife gods are not favoring me today. But it is very hard to be able to middle finger flick reliably. And that is because for whatever reason, they went with a rounded fuller. And as you can see, it's the exact same color as the actual blade itself. For a fuller, it either needs to be deep enough for you to really be able to achieve that positive grip, or it needs to be textured. This is neither, and it's actually almost polished. Not like mirror polished, but it's pretty damn smooth, and as such it feels really kind of janky. But if you want to do this, left EDC patent pending, it'll do that. But that's kind of about it as far as the actual action. Now, on to the good. And the good is, goddamn, folks, I love the design of this knife. This thing is beautiful. Presentation, both clip side, even the actual back side has this very nice back strap with that nice proud Vandal on the butt. And most knives, in my opinion, from the front view all kind of look the same, but this has a little bit of that Vandal aesthetic. Let me just say, for this man's first ever knife design, the ergonomics for my fat hands, Dude, this feels like it was made for me. I love the ergos of this knife. Holy shit. There are two very small hotspots, right? One right here and one right up here where your finger goes. And that's really it. And those are pretty nitpicky. The word hotspot is being very generous. It's like the most lukewarm spot ever, but it is one kind of issue on an overall ergonomically perfect knife. So it does stand out. The edge geometry for your basic mailers, look at that. No resistance. Wa-da-da-da. This is the male ninja. Wa-da-da-da. I love cutting with this knife. That's more my fault. It has no room left. Let's try this again. Wa-da-da-da-da. I love that noise. It actually performed fairly well on my 100 cardboard cuts you're seeing a brief little montage of right now. So far, the edge does not need to be sharpened at all, though I have stropped it. Though during the actual cutting process itself, I had zero issues, which is always fantastic. I will say there is a bit of resistance for sure when actually working with this knife. But even after all that, it still glides through paper like pretty much nothing, so definitely well done knife, solid edge geometry. Though I feel like it's meant to cut paper cleanly more than actual work, which me personally, I like my knives to actually work. So if it glided through cardboard the way it did through paper, I'd be happy. It doesn't, so I just kind of got to give it a good but not great. But if all you want to do is cut paper, then you're good. I don't know why you want to do that, but if you do, you're good. Now, as far as the actual retention on this clip, I'm not going to say it's bad, but it's also not great. It's very middle of the road, which isn't necessarily a bad thing in of itself, but it should at the very least be noted. This knife has not fallen out during carry, to be clear, but it has gone up to where it was about right there and had to go whoop. Afterwards, it was fine. So not that perfect retention you want, which is kind of crazy because this knife it's not particularly light. It's not super heavy either, but it's definitely not light. So you think the weight would hold it in the pocket better? It doesn't. But as long as it's not flying out of my pocket, I don't really care that much. So not great, not bad, good. Now let's talk about what I think is the elephant in the room right now, because this knife I've seen go for $700. LTK sold me this directly for, I believe it was $225, right? Which compared to what they're going for on eBay, that's very, very reasonable. But are these things worth, first off, $700? That's very much up to interpretation. I don't think this knife is bad by any means. Do I think $700 worth? In my humble opinion, only my opinion, absolutely not. Is it worth $225? In my humble opinion, again, absolutely not. This is a knife that I really want to see the second version of. If this fuller had more texture to it, I would love this knife, man, because the ergonomics are so damn good in my hands that I want to carry it all the time. For the most part, I carry other things instead because just the action, man, it doesn't feel that good. Yes, it opens up just fine with the button lock, but I don't know, man. I feel like it could have been done a whole lot better. So the LTK Vandal Part 2, man, I think this could actually be a killer knife. Right now, I think it's very good. And as far as a first design offering, I mean, I can't do this. Like I could not pull this off at all. So I'm not going to be that guy going, I could do this better. I could not. 100% I could not. I might try eventually, I'm not going to lie, but will I pull off a knife that looks this good? Probably not. So why do I feel this knife is overpriced? First off, titanium, carbon fiber, these things are cool, but the blade steel is 14C28N, right? Which I love on a fixed blade. I love on certain folders, right? It's not a bad steel. To be very clear, there are no perfect steels. But for the price tag, I think 14C28N is almost kind of insulting. I mean, it's made well. It's not it's not bad. That's the best way I can describe the LTK Vandal overall. It's not bad. I wanted it to be great. When I first saw how this knife looked, I was like, yes, give me it. Mine. Perfect. And I got it in hand and I'm like, man, I don't love this. It's not bad at all, but I do not love this. So my overall review on the LTK Vandal is going to be a 7 out of 10. And that kind of hurts me, right? Because one, I like LTK. I like his weird ass channel, I like his crazy deep boom and hell you guys voice. I like that he actually uses the knives. He disassembles them and does things that I don't want to do. And overall, again, he's just a pillar in our community that at first a lot of people did not like, including myself, to be honest. But over time, man, that grumpy old bastard has grown on me and us as a whole. So, in summary, if you want a pretty-ass collection piece, fantastic. This is the first designer from a YouTube channel that has been doing this for quite some time. And honestly, I think it is a very, very solid starting point. As stated, it does have problems. If those problems are fixed, I think this could be a fantastic piece. And LTK, if you're watching this, please, 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 first off, branch off from Twosun. I watched your whole video. They seem very, very unprofessional, very much all about their own shit and don't want to actually work with you. The idea of you being an unproven designer, I sort of understand that, but guess what? Now you are proven, and no matter how I feel about this knife, this thing blew up, made Twosun a whole bunch of money, and you are now a successful designer. And spoiler alert, folks, the LTK Vandal Part 2, if it does come out, I'm buying it because I think this knife has more potential than anything in a long, long time. This is a prime example of what a clean ergonomic design can be, but it needs a few upgrades. But anyways, folks, if you disagree with my opinion or you want to hear another one, this knife's going to be sent off to Neves Knives or Jared over at Neves Knives today. Then I believe Left to EDC's going to check it out, and I'll probably put it up on the pass around group, right? Because these knives, for whatever reason, are kind of rare. Almost nobody has them. So let's pass this thing around the community as a whole and hear everyone's opinion, because it ain't just about me. I'm just one sole random internet jackass. I'm just talking about my own personal opinion, but what's yours? Let's spread it around. Let's truly find out, is the Vandal a home run, a home or a bad knife? I don't think it's a bad knife at all. Anybody says this knife's bad, I'm going to call bullshit. Is it great? No, but god damn, this thing has potential. As always, folks, I love you all with all of my heart. Please take care, and bye-bye.